Rhondda. Next with us is Kieran Bailey. Do you know he's appearing in the Park and Day 7th, 8th and 9th of March with a show that's called Turning the Wheel. Listen to this.
Ciao, Shomai. My name is Kieran Bailey, and I'd like to tell you about my sense of Rhondda heritage and how that's led me to create a musical theatre show about my home valley entitled Turning the Wheel. Turning the Wheel is a musical that celebrates the unique culture, community and camaraderie of the South Wales valleys, alongside our humour, history and deep sense of hiraeth. Packed with catchy songs and a script that will make you both laugh and cry, Turning the Wheel is an out-and-out celebration of pure Welshness. I was brought up in Treorchy in the Rhondda Valleys. My father was born in Tynewydd, or Tŷ Newydd if you're posh, and my mother in Cwm Park, or Upper Treorchy if you're posh. I grew up in a very musical family where it was, and still is, very normal to gather around the piano in my mother's front room for a good old sing-song. Hey, and if you don't believe me, just ask Kirsty and Simon living next door. I began playing piano when I was 6 years old, after encouragement from my grandmother, Mavis Williams, who had herself spent many years as a pianist on the Rhondda Club cabaret circuit, long before the days of backing tracks. I later went on to learn drums and percussion before taking an interest in singing and acting during my time at Treorchy Comprehensive School. It wasn't particularly cool at the time to be involved in the performing arts, and it took quite a lot of persuasion from my music and drama teachers in order to convince me to give it a try. But once I started, I was hooked, and I've absolutely loved it ever since. The idea for the musical, Turning the Wheel, came about while I was taking part in a community theatre project with RCT Theatres. We were focusing on the closure of the last two Welsh Italian cafes in the area. The Station Cafe, run by the Balastrazi family, and the Cardiff Arms Cafe, run by the Carpanini family. The idea was to try and preserve this period of Rhondda history before it was lost forever. Some of the little snippets of songs that I wrote during that period went on to become part of the final soundtrack to Turning the Wheel. During the COVID lockdowns, I was lucky enough to receive a music composition grant from the Arts Council of Wales via a Welsh theatre company called Theatr na Nog. I decided to use this money to write a musical about what I know and love, and what I believe to be a very important part of who I am as a person. It is something that many people listening to this will share my passion for, and that is the unique culture and community of the South Wales valleys. My favourite, of course, being right here in the Rhondda. The aim of the musical is to shine a light on the origins of our valley's culture. A time when coal was king and miners' lives were cheap. A time when the smoking chimneys and winding headstocks of the mines dominated the landscape of our valley's towns. A time when, although the miners and their families endured severe hardship and poverty, a wonderfully unique culture and community was born.
There could be so much more to this than what they see. They say we work in the mines, we don't have time to dream. 'Cause there are drams to fill, and there are mouths to feed, and there are just too many who depend on me. But there's something here that we have yet to find, a reason all of our differences have been aligned. And if we had just one strong voice to get behind, we'd be the change that we long to see. 'Cause I'm not prepared to work another day, while the price of the coal determines what we're paid.
From day one of its inception, it has always been very important to myself, RCT Theatres and our two funding bodies, Pen y Cymoedd Wind Farm and Arts Council Wales, that Turning the Wheel was born in the heart of the Rhondda Valleys at the Park and Dare Theatre. A theatre that was paid for via contributions from the miners themselves. This deep connection to our mining history make it the perfect venue to stage our debut performances of the full production of Turning the Wheel this coming March 2024. Our hope is that when people see the show, they will experience the Hiraeth and Cynefin of the South Wales Valleys. Hiraeth and Cynefin being two Welsh words that roughly translate into English to describe a real sense of belonging or connection to one's own origins. Hiraeth actually goes a step further and is often used to describe a sense of longing or nostalgia for one's own home or community. We strongly believe in the potential of Turning the Wheel, and our aim for the future is to tour the show to other parts of the country and beyond, continuing the custom of something created here in the Rhondda being exported to the world, just like that black gold that brought us all here in the first place.
No light masking is a fairer slice, a slight adjustment of the carving knife, a chance to live before we have to die. Tell me, when will my life begin? When will my life begin?
I'd like to end by playing you my personal favourite song from Turning the Wheel, which I believe totally encapsulates the sense of community and camaraderie that was born out of the coal mines. The lyrics tell us of the mixed emotions the miners feel about working down the mines. On the one hand is an acknowledgement of the daily danger that they all face, and on the other is a definite sense of pride and brotherhood. Written in a true male voice choir style, this one is simply called The Miner's Song.
Hold your lamps tight as the sunlight's taken from your eyes. Pray as we descend that we shall meet again to rise. And though the voice of amity rings loudest underground, keep aware, for many here a resting place have found. Every night I ask my God to save me from this place. Take my pick and shovel, wipe the coal dust from my face. But if my prayer were answered and he took away my pain, he'd have to take a part of me that cannot be explained. So fill your drums and lungs with coal to keep the wolves at bay. Cool head and sharp mandrel, boys, remember what we say. Though we derive from far and wide, with fathers, brothers, sons, we live and die with miners' pride. The valley makes us one.
Our thanks to Kieran Bailey. Do you know, you can join him at the Park and Dare with a musical that's called Turning the Wheel on the 7th, 8th and 9th of March, directed by Llynos Daniel. It's a co-production with RCT Theatres. Coal culture and community come to life in this brand new musical celebrating the history, humour, hardships and hiraeth of the South Wales Valleys. Join Marco Mancini at his Italian cafe, or as they say in the Rhondda Cafe, where the story unravels from the hub of the community.